she really came out here and ran a nice race in her last start, and I think brought herself to the Breeders' Cup. Can you just talk about her development and how she has emerged in your care since you guys bought him?
Yeah, she's progressed really nicely over the year. We started her here early in the spring, bought her out of a 2-year-old sale, sprinted her knowing she'd probably need a little bit more ground, but it was a good chance to get some experience. Then we tapped the brakes for a couple months, brought her to Saratoga, ran a very good third against a good filly at Chad's, and then a filly, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Sagiria, I think.
I see it, yeah.
Phil Bauer's filly, who's come back and run well now. Sabides being a grass filly, I think. So she's kept good company, good spacing to the maiden at Delaware, did that well, and then that teed us up really nicely for the Jessamine.
And she ran like a good thing in the Jessamine.
She did, she did. I mean, I think she was a little bit trip compromised at Saratoga. She might have finished a little better, but she had, through no fault of his own, Louis had a really wide trip, and I think our sheet number was comparable to the winner. It was equal, or if not a little bit faster, so we left there feeling pretty good about what we had, so but she put it all together in the Jessamine, and subsequently she trained great, and we're really happy to be over here.
Is it unusual for Mr. Strawbridge to buy 2-year-olds out of the sale?
Not really, no. He's embraced that. I think we've had more luck recently. I think the last 2 years have been really good to us. We bought another filly that won a stake at Saratoga, so we're starting to kind of get up on skis as far as going to the 2-year-old sales and getting some productivity out of it. But he stepped up to the plate, and she was a $400,000 filly, and she breezed like it. She looked like it. She obviously has run up to her price tag. So. No, he's opportunistic, and he keeps eyes open for nice fillies. So thankfully we're able to get her.
Yeah, his history through the years, of course, I guess you'd have to say is he's bred his own.
He's a big owner breeder, obviously. Yeah. He's a man that needs no introduction.
Yeah.
Highly successful in that realm, but he's also very understanding that your breeding program's only as good as influx of new blood. So we're constantly on the lookout for good horses, good fillies in particular, and she kind of ticked a lot of boxes for both of us.
In what regard?
I hate to be cliche, because I know everyone answers the same thing, but I mean, she breezed great. She's a beautiful physical. I love the young stallion, young mare angle, Mendelssohn, who's half to into mischief, greatest stallion in America right now, and Scat Daddy. I loved Scat Daddy. Unfortunately, it wasn't around to hang around long enough. So I just thought, like, Mendelssohn's probably a pretty sneaky sire that we'll hopefully be hearing plenty of down the line. And young Medaglia mare. So there was a lot that we kind of like.
And this is his first crop, isn't it? Mendelssohn?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
It seems like we were just about yesterday we were writing about him being in the Breeders'
Cup.
No,
and listen, with Catholic Boy, we ran against him, so I got to see him quite a bit, but throughout Breeders' Cup and a couple of Grade 1 races. So it's pretty cool training one of his offspring. But yeah.
How long have you trained for Mr. Strawbridge, and how many horses do you have for him?
We probably have 20 plus right now. He's very fortunate to pick some horses up for him a few years ago, and he's been huge to me and to our stable. He's probably our biggest client numerically at the moment, and big supporter. He's super game about going to sales and buying horses, and it's been a relationship I value highly. He's just, outside of being a great client, he's an amazing man, and it's been really great getting to know him through all these experiences, he's actually kind of a mentor in a way. He's just seen so much. It's nice to have kind of a teamwork discussion with him about what we're doing and where we're headed, and so it's been a lot of fun too. It's been a lot of fun.
Probably haven't had too many owners that have been college history professors. Didn't he do that?
Exactly. Yeah, super well educated. He was a teacher himself. He was a horseman. He rode races. He's owned for 40 plus 50 years, so there's this wealth of knowledge. And, to me, one of the rarest things in horse racing right now is a breeder who's willing to race his horses. And he's a sportsman. He loves racing. He loves racing, and particularly here at Keeneland. So it's kind of fun for everything to come together, and just need a little bit more luck.
You said you tried to ride jumpers. I'm guessing you're selling yourself a little bit short. But is that when you first met Mr. Strawbridge? As a jump jockey?
I didn't get to meet him a lot during jump racing. He was obviously a huge presence, and I got to ride for him a few times, and luckily we got to win a few races. And yeah, I mean, he was a absolute powerhouse in the steeplechase world. So, but definitely, you know, knew him from afar and was lucky to win a few.
What would you have thought back then, like fast forward, that you would be having a horse for him in the Breeders' Cup?
Oh, I wouldn't even dreamt of it, to be honest. You know, I just felt fortunate at the time to, you know, when you put on those green and white silks, especially in a jump race, that was as good as it got, you know. So, but to be training for him down the road, it's been very special.